Hello, good morning once again to all my students. So, today we are going to discuss poem number 5, Crossing the Bar. It's written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. So, first of all, you should know who is Alfred Lord Tennyson. So, he was one of the most renowned poet of the Victorian era. Okay, and he also wrote in memoriam the charge of the light brigade and idyllis of the king. So he was one of the very famous writer of his age. And then you need to know the background of this poem. So in the background I would like to tell you that the Victorian age was troubled by conflict between science and religion. Okay, during that time there was Darwin's theory of evolution, and according to Darwin's theory of evolution, he said that man has evolved from the apes. Okay, and according to Christianity, according to the religion of the people of the poet, so according to Christianity, we have come from Adam and Eve. Okay, so there was a conflict between science and religion at that time, and the poet's mind was also full of doubts and fears. Okay, and it was before 3 years of his death that he wrote this poem. So the poet was 81 years of age when he wrote this poem, and and the poet was 81. He wrote this poem 3 years before he died. Okay, and when he wrote this poem, he was seriously ill, and obviously he was getting the thoughts of death. Then here the heading of the poem, the crossing the bar. Okay, so crossing the bar is a metaphor used for death. Okay, and here this bar is the sand bar, which is a ridge of sand built up by the currents along the shore. Okay, and here this the metaphor means it is used to describe the barrier between life and death. Okay, and this whole poem is a kind of a lyric. So it is written in the form of a song, and it consists of 4 paragraphs. Okay, and throughout the poem you will feel that the name obviously says crossing the bar, means the poet is talking about the life after death. Okay, means the barrier between life and death. He wishes to die calmly, and you will find here a lot of optimism. The poet is not sad. Okay, the poet wants to be happy, and he does not want anybody else also to cry. And overall you will find that there are so many images which are related to the life at the seashore. So let us begin with the poem. So first stanza: sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. So the poet says that the time is now sunset, and the evening star appears in the sky. And one clear call for me. So clear call here is the call of death. Okay, so clear call is a metaphor for death. Sunset and evening star also denotes the end of life. So this is also a metaphor. Sunset and evening star is a metaphor. Moreover, it also creates images in your mind. Here it's written that in this poem you will get metaphors. There are many pictures of imagery and alliteration. Okay, so sunset and evening star, it gives a image of sunset and the image of evening star in your mind. Moreover, it is a metaphor for end of life. And one clear call for me. Clear call is the call of death, again a metaphor. And may there be no moaning of the bar. And the poet Alfred Lord Tennyson wishes that there should be no moaning of the bar. There should be no murmuring sound from the seaside. It means the people should not cry at his death. He want to see death calmly. Be he want to feel happy because he is going to meet his creator. So when I put out to sea means when I die. Okay, the image which is created, it is related to the life at the seashore when a person sits in a boat or a ship and the person sails towards the sea. But here the poet wants to say that once he die, okay, he is going to cross the bar, the bar of the death. And here the image which is created is when the poet put out to sea. Okay, and here means he is talking about the life after death. So he believes, the poet believes that after death also there is a journey, and that journey is towards meeting the God. So second stanza. But such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Now, the poet says that the tide, so tides are very important in the sea because these tides only takes the ship or a boat for the sailing. Okay, if the tides are not appropriate, then what happens? The person will not be able to reach the destination. So here the poet says that, but such a tide as moving seems asleep. So to the poet, the tide seems to be asleep. The tide seems to be smooth, too full for sound and foam. He says that the tide which he just imagines about, he says that it is too full for sound and foam. Sound and foam is underlined here. It means doubts and fears. So when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. So here turns again home means the home of God. Okay, the poet here also the poet has the vision that this world is full of materialism, this world is full of fears and doubts, and it is only death which will take us away from all these doubts and all these fears. And obviously here when I told you about the background about the Darwin's theory of evolution, so here the poet is talking about the same doubts and fears which were aroused in his mind when he came to know about Darwin's theory of evolution. When there was a clash, there was a conflict between the thoughts of the poet as well as of the science. So here in second stanza, overall the poet says that the tide to him seems asleep, means there are no high tides, these are very smooth, and these will take him away from the sound and foam, means the doubts and fear. Okay, so there will be no sound and foam, because if the tides are very high, only then there will be sound and foam. But here there is it's not too full for the sound and foam, means the poet is talking about the doubts and fears. And when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. So the tides, they appear, they come out from the boundless deep. Okay, and it will take him away back to home. So twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. Now the poet says that obviously when I started with the first stanza, you would be getting the picture of the evening time, the time which is between the sunset and the night time. Then he says twilight and evening bell. So twilight is the time when the sun has set but it is not dark. Okay, still there is a time to get dark. And evening bell, the evening bell of the church, over here it is knell or the death bell. Okay, so knell or the death bell. So He says twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and after that it gets dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. The poet does not want the sadness over there around the around when he dies. Okay, he wants that people should not cry. He wants to be very cheerful when he go away towards his journey of death, because the poet has understood that this world is full of materialism. Okay, and it is only after death, when we are free, the spirit becomes free and goes out of this materialistic world and feels happy. Okay, and obviously death is the ultimate reality of life. For so from out our born of time and place, the flood may bear me far. I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. And now the poet says, once he dies, he will be out from the circle, out from the boundaries of time and place. You just see here, time, T is capital, place, P is capital. Okay, so once a person dies, the person just gets free from the boundaries of time and place. These boundaries are for the people, those who are alive. Okay, our life depends upon the time. Okay, as the time passes, we get old, and moreover we do work according to time and place. The boundaries of place, the boundaries which segregates the different places are made by us. So the flood may bear me far. So the flood which is there in the water, the waves of the sea, it is going to take the poet away from the sandbar towards the sea, that is towards the journey of death. I hope to see my pilot face to face. He says that I hope, I wish to see my pilot, that is God or the Christ, the one who guides. God always guides. So he hopes to see the pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. Once the poet says, I have crossed the bar, I have crossed the sandbar, I have crossed from the life to death. So I hope to see my creator, my maker face to face. And I'll be away from all the doubts and fears which I have been suffering in my lifetime. Okay, so I already have underlined the word pilot, and here pilot is also a metaphor. It is used for God, the Almighty. And at one side there are themes written, that is faith in God and life beyond death. So obviously this poem talks about faith in God. Okay, when you read the 4 stanzas, you get in the mind that okay, the poet is actually having faith in God. He is very optimistic. He wants to embrace death very cheerfully, and he is very happy that he is going to meet his creator. And then life beyond death, obviously the poet says, when I have crossed the bar, so I'll be sailing towards the sea, and then at the end my destination would be my pilot. That is the place which is called as heaven, the abode of God. Okay, so like many other religions also believe that there is life after death also, means there is a journey which you have to undergo to reach heaven or hell according to your deeds which you have done in this lifetime. Okay, so here there are some pictures, imageries which I have underlined, sunset and evening star. So the first stanza, first line, it gives a visual image. Then moaning of the bar, third line, first stanza, it gives the auditory image. You get a sound of moaning, crying, moaning of the bar. And then twilight and evening bell, third stanza, first line. So twilight gives you a visual imagery, and evening bell, the sound of the bell, it gives auditory image to all of us. And then alliteration, this is the third literary device which is here. So you can see the first line, this is sunset and evening star. So here sunset, S sound, sun, set. S and S, and evening star, again S of the star. Okay, so here S sound is repeated, and then one clear call. So C clear and C of the call. So this also give alliteration. Okay, thank you students. I hope that you have understood it, and very soon we will be meeting with the next poem also. Thank you. Have a nice day.